right, you lovely, wonderful people. I want to talk a little bit today about the market and a lot about the cryptocurrency project that we're going to do basically. So, sorry, I'm not feeling that well. I've got a little bit of a blocked nose. I'm not sure what's going on. So if the audio sounds quite awful, yes, my voice is kind of funny today. So, right, let's talk about the market. Market, obviously, we opened kind of bearish, right? And on the higher time frames, the indicators are still showing negative, guys. So I would say wait a few days. Let's see what happens. Does the market recover? Does it not? But for me, I'm still thinking the market has more downside, solely because Ethereum has kind of tested the support at the $2,142 level. You know, I've been banging on about that level. It's kind of tested it. It broke through. It's recovered a little bit in the last hour, so I have been monitoring it. But I don't think it can hold, right? Because you've got to look at the entire market, not just one individual coin. Yes, it has around 17-18% of dominance. And for me, it's a very important coin, right? So when I look at that, that's another indicator. It's like sometimes you want to make sure what BTC is doing. You want to find out, you've got to look at the other coin as well. So that's how I look at it. Ethereum is showing great weaknesses. If it does recover, then there's a different story, right? Then I think the alts could start pumping again, right? A lot of the alts did pump in the last few days before the crash, and as you can see, the crash has kind of brought it down back to last week's level. So nothing fascinating, nothing interesting on the charts. Again, I'm just going to say just wait and see what happens, because that's the way you move forward, right? You don't want to be looking at coins or things that you want to buy. Of course, you want to buy the dip, that's a different story. You can buy the dip right now, right? Because we've had the red, that bloody red that we wanted. The potential for us to go down even further for another week is high, right? But we can also reverse this candle within this week, right? So look at that. Depends on the momentum of the market. So far, everything that when I'm looking at the greater timeline, I talked about this as well. When you look at the 21-week moving averages, right, you start noticing that we're way above the line. So we've got a long way to come down. And if we did come down, then we will go and find some resistance around the $36,000, $37,000 level, worst case scenario, right? But the 40k level looks kind of sweet as well, and you have to look back, go way back in the past to see why it looks kind of sweet, because that 40k level did have a little bit of a resistance when we were moving up previous cycle. So right now, if we can hold support there, great, and market's on, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So that's what I'm looking at. So far we are battling. I mean, we did go down to 40k today, 40,000 something anyway, and we've pumped back up again. So let's see what happens. As I said, give it a couple of days. It's the first day of the candle. Signs are not looking that bad, when you look at the great timeline. So we're okay. We need a correction, guys. We need a correction, right? Because we had a lot of pumps recently, and that's kind of worrying. So that's that. And as I said, Ethereum itself is showing a lot more weakness, hence why I'm thinking that market could go down a little bit more. Maybe another week or two, reset the market, and then start moving back up again. That's what I would be really looking forward to. So I'm kind of sitting on the sideline right now. I'm not deployed. I've mentioned this before as well. A couple of weeks ago, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, or 1.5 weeks ago, or something like this, right? Just before the crash, I've already exited, right? So for me, I'm sitting in USD right now. And yeah, USD is not doing that great either, right? So I should have probably sat on GBP. But anyway, it doesn't matter because GBP is a little bit stronger to USD right now. But the point is I sat on USD. So yeah, I lost a few dollars here and there. But do you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm still in a stable coin, ready to deploy as soon as I think the opportunity is there. So even now, looking at it, I'm not buying the dips or doing nothing. I'm just waiting. I'm just kind of, hawking the whole thing. I'm like, right, I'm going to sit there. I'm going to sit there. As soon as it comes, I'm going to snap it up and I'm going to go. So I'm waiting for that. If something interesting does come up on the charts, I'll post something anyway. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the cryptocurrency project, right? I'm going to just kind of generalize the project because there's two projects, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys know there's two projects. In fact, there's three, but and there's a fourth. But the point is the fourth one is on the test network. The third one is live, but it's not one that we're working on. And then we have two other projects that we are launching, right? So there are different reasons why. So we wanted to do a live test. We got the live test. We wanted to do a test network. We're doing the test network as well. And then we've got two projects coming. One is an actual both of them are tokens, but one of them has a lower market cap because it's more of a community governance token. So that one we're working on right now, and I have a massive community over there. And I want to give a shout out to Suicide. He's I forgot where he's from, but he's been very active on the server, and I appreciate if my other fellas from the other server or this server, right, this YouTube channel server, would also be active there. That would be really nice as well. So there's a few guys over there very active, giving their inputs and whatnot. I asked earlier on, I said, like, what price do you want to see us launching the project? So he came back, he said he would love to see it at 10 cents. I said, if you do 10 cents, 100 million, when you do the maths, it's about $10 million projects. Do you want the market cap to be $10 million? So it's a good point. He's going to get some of his friends, who's going to talk with them. Great. That's what we'd like to see, engagement. So the community decides what the future is, even though we don't have the token released yet, right? I mean, it's on the blockchain, but the point is you don't have it in your wallet. We don't have the governance mechanism set up yet. At least this is a form of governance as well, right? And this is a form of inclusion. So that's what I was saying the whole time. Everybody is included in this project. This entire project that I'm doing, both of them, right? They are community inclusive projects. These are community central projects, right? I don't want to go and make decisions on my own. I don't want to sit down with 10 of my boys, right, who are all part of the board members or whatever, right? You know, my favorites, and we sit there and we come up with a narrative. I don't want to do that. I want the community to decide what happens, right? So that's a good, I want to give a shout out, as I said, to Suicide from the No Central community. Very, you know, he's been very active. Like whenever he sees someone, is saying hi, whatnot, and he's always engaging. I appreciate that, right? I really, really do appreciate that. So if you are watching Suicide, appreciate your effort. Thank you very much. I want to also give out a shout out to Raymo, shout out to KR as well, right? But Raymo especially, because Raymo, he picked, so I gave some logos the other day and I said, look, I got a dog coin, I got a cat coin, right? So which coin would you like to see for the meme coin, right? And I made 9 copies of this particular, like 9 variations. So what I did, I just changed the background a little bit and then I changed the style a little bit. But I made 9 variations. I drew it on my paint pad and I sent it over. And he selected one and he was stuck on that one. And I like that. I respect that. I was like, right, okay, he has something, fine. So I showed it to a few other people. And, you know, I placed it differently. Like printed it out on a PDF. I placed it differently. And funny thing is, everybody, almost everybody, there was 1 or 2 people that didn't, but almost everybody, and I'm talking like a close to 20 people, almost everybody chose that specific one. So that meant that's the winner. So I already got a winner. But then what I had to do was sit there and kind of think to myself that, okay, I've done this, but is this what the community will accept, right? Is this what the degens would accept, right? Because we've got a lot of degenerates, right? So in the crypto sphere, are they going to accept that? And so I kind of thought about it and I said, okay, let me see what I can do. So I've done a few kind of slight different variations. And then they're kind of still similar. So I was like, okay, still kind of similar. What do I do now? So what I did was I then went ahead and I said, okay, I'm going to plug it into an AI. So, you know, one of those image to image AIs, right? So I gave it to an image to image AI. I said, right, this is my image. I want you to kind of make this into a 3D, make it more wow, and do one better. I literally asked it to do one better, right? And it came up with multiple variations. So I looked at those variations. I said, okay, change this, tweak that. So I did a whole bunch of stuff to make an AI logo. Because I'm thinking about as I said, everybody, right? Everybody needs to be inclusive. So I looked at that. Then I kind of shared that to the Discord server on YouTube. And I said, right, guys, have a look at this. What's going on? Again, Raymo came back and he said, and the funny thing is the one I gave in the beginning was my top pick as well. So he looked at that and he was like, that's the one I like, right? I was like, right, he's on the right track because that's the one that I kind of liked as well. But again, it's not just us. And for me, the other thing is the reason I'm doing the logos and I'm asking the community, I'm planning to hard code it into the actual smart contract, right? So there is a way of putting the logo in the smart contract, which means when the smart contract goes live, the logo's already there, right? The logo's already there. So I wanted to do that because it's part of the thing anyway, because that's how it recognizes the logo. So I'm thinking about doing that. So let's see. And then I've got another dog coin as well. So not dog coin, is a dog logo, which I originally selected. It was going to be a dog or a cat, whichever meme we were going to do. Everyone chose the cat, so we move forward with the cat. But I am going to still continue doing the exact same process for the dog. So I get a few bunch of randomized images or logos for that. And then I'll start working on that as well. The reason I want to do the dog and the cat, there's a reason behind this, right? We want to do both. One of them is going to belong to the meme coin, right? And one of them is going to belong to the other project, right? The governance token. I want to do both together. All right. For me, I think if I do both, then at least these are our creation, which we've then plugged into the AI, obviously. But these are original source images. These are original images that we've created, which we've plugged into an AI. AI modified it. Whether we get a logo out of that or not, and whether the community chooses or not, that's a different story, right? And then we give these logos to these projects, right? That's my idea anyway. That's what I'm thinking, and it's going to be quite nice. Want to do that. But obviously community decides, and I don't care how many people vote. If it's one person that votes, that's for me, that's good, right? So that's what I'm doing. That's that one. And I also want to give a big shout out to SM, who on YouTube, right? He left a comment on YouTube, so he clearly watched the video right to the end, right? And I want to give him a big shout out as well, right? I mean, KR was part of the logo as well, so I kind of appreciate that as well. I would love to see more input, KR, right? I know you're one of the original OGs of this channel, so I want to give you a big shout out for this as well. You're one of the original OGs, one of the first YouTube subscribers on this channel. Subscriber as in from my outside circle. So everybody originally that subscribed was part of my inner circle, right? And you were the one person in this globe who found me, who's not part of my inner circle, and you were one of the first subscribers of that. So I really appreciate that, and I want to thank you for that one. And look where we are today, right? I think we've got 2,900 subscribers, something like this. Brilliant, right? We're not getting the watch, but it doesn't matter. So and SM, right? SM, I want to thank you, because I said, what, how many trillion tokens do you want to see? Like 1 trillion, 2 trillion, something ridiculous, right? And he came out with 21 trillion token. We can do that because that's not that ridiculous compared to some of the other projects. I think someone recently did 500 trillion, right? Or something stupid like this, right? So for that reason, I think that 21 trillion sounds good, sounds reasonable. For a meme coin, that's a good number. I do appreciate that, and I'll give you a big shout. And I do understand where you're coming from, the 21 as well, following the BTC. I love that. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Unless, and we've still got time, so unless other people say something else, fine, that's not a problem. But I do appreciate that 21 trillion it is for now, all right? Unless we decide to change something. But if anybody disagrees or anybody says anything, now is the time. You tell me in Discord. Most of you guys who are on Discord, tell me if that's what you want to see, right? 21 trillion or something different, right? And then we make that change, right? Because once we code everything, and I'm planning to code it in, launch the token, because that's something I know how to do. Remember, I'm a no coder. So when it comes to making all the UI and making all the websites and this and that, I'm useless, right? Or making all the DEXs and the dApps and software, I'm useless. But when it comes to making the actual token, I'm great. So I can make the token. I can program the token. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to program the token. I'll put whatever number of coins we want. I'll embed the logo into that as well. Do all of those things. That's going to be done. So this is permanent. We're not ever going to change that anymore. So I hope you all understand this. Anything we do now can never be changed again. Right? Even though the contract itself may be upgradable, that means we can probably make it pausable, make it burnable, and XYZ, right? But we will never be able to change logos and the total supply. Those two functions will never change. So please do remember that, right? So whatever you say is going to be literally carved in stone, and that's it. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about the project. But as I said, like, I want to thank you, all of you guys, like, that have been contributing, and I'm not going to, like, put it this way. Let's hope this project goes success, become a success, and the community get there. Also, I want to give a thanks to Splinty, right? Everyone, not everybody knows, because I can't remember his number, but he usually has his ID as 0x something anyway. But Splinty, I want to give you a thank you as well, because he's come forward from another community. And he said, look, I'll build you whatever you need for the launch. So for a smooth launch, he's going to build me the software contracts or whatever, so that people can engage directly without going through a launch pad or anything like this. Because the thing is I could go to a launch pad, and I could go to all sorts of other places, right? And I'm sure many people would be interested in those launch pads, which is great for us, right? But when we want to do a pre-sale or something like this, right? Or a private sale, we don't want those launch pads. Right? We don't want those. We want to do the main launch on the launch pad. Does that make sense? So he's going to help me out. And as I said, thank you very much. I do appreciate this. So loads of shout outs today, right? This video is more about shout outs than anything else today. Market's doing what it does. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about that. So I am really excited. I am absolutely thrilled. how this is going, and I am going to start releasing some of the tokenomics in XYZ. For example, I did mention that the other projects, the is going to be a governance token, so you already know what it's going to be now. So next thing I need to give you is the more token, so you already know the utility basically, and then I'll give you the rest of the tokenomics as well. So that's a governance token. You know, this one's a meme token, but it's also a person-to-person, like peer-to-peer payment, right? Currency as well. So we're going to work on that, but that's not something that will be coming as soon as we launch it. Maybe it might, right? It depends on you, but we are going to intend to make that happen. And, you know, depending on the success of the project, how big it gets, right? The more integrations, the more partnerships, the more connections we can make, right? So I'm just telling everybody, and of course, none of this is financial advice, guys. So please understand this. Any cryptocurrency, any projects we're working on, anything we're doing right now, any crypto we're talking about, any coins we're talking about right now, this is not a financial advice. And anything that I am building or working on, right, you should never have any financial expectations, all right? So you should understand this, because I'm doing this purely for educational purposes and for the community, right? I have no personal interest or anything. Of course, if I do gain something at the end, by all means, right, I'll thank everybody. But I'm not here to kind of rug everybody and take their money and do whatever. None of that business, right? Hence why you can see me on a video talking about it. How many people do that? All right. So of course, we're going to do AMAs and whatnot. So you can ask me any questions. You can ask how things work. And actually, I even want people to tell me and teach me how things are done. So if you know something that I'm not aware of, or you have some idea, please leave your comments below and let me know, right? And if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe, because look, well, I'm trying to build a community. Number one, I'm trying to get the community to power the thing. And I don't mean by buying anything like this. I mean community to power by me doing airdrops to 5,000 wallets or 10,000 wallets. I would love to see 100,000 wallets, right? So I can do an airdrop to all of them. That's a community already decentralized, right? You know, the SEC said Ethereum was sufficiently decentralized, right? Well, we're going to be bloody ultimately decentralized from the start. Do you know what I mean? So that's the kind of an idea I have. I'm like, okay, I want to be out there in the open and see if the community comes forward. And if the community does, then there's so much that we can do together. And, you know, I mentioned this on a thing. So I was saying like how, so I mentioned this on Discord actually about 10 minutes ago. So this video is about 10 minutes old, Ramo. So I said to Ramo, I said on Discord, I said, you and me working together, we've generated this thing. So you like this logo, I've taken it, I've made some modifications, stuck into an AI, and we've come back and we like this logo, right? So it was two people doing back and forth, creating this one logo. And I said, imagine what everybody else's input could do. Imagine if 10 people came in and chose. Imagine what 100 people could do together. We could change a lot of stuff, right? And that's the true decentralization. All right, that's the meaning of true decentralization. Not that a central party sitting in an office making these decisions. This is me sitting on the street in a car, in my own car, right? The one I use all the time, and talking to you guys, right? Think about it. That's how it should be. All right. So yeah, other than that, guys, I'm not going to say anything else. Leave whatever in the comment, whatever you have, whatever thoughts you have in the comment. And there's a brother or sister, I'm not quite sure. The audio was awful the other day. I didn't review it, I'll be honest with you. I actually just recorded it, and then there was some driving noise, so I done a noise removal, so it removed the noise, and then I added some music layer to it, and I didn't realize how loud that music was. So yeah, that was freaking annoying, and I did listen to it, and I was like, whoa, that's bad, right? So I do apologize. I left a message there, I pinned a message, I said, look, apologies for the audio, right? But I hope, you know, we don't have those kind of situations anymore, and I'll take more notice before I release them. Because listen, my problem is I'm literally sometimes just doing it, you know, just on the fly, doing it, and then you're posting it. And I don't edit stuff like serious edits, like, you know, people cutting, pasting this and that. I don't do none of that, guys. Please do understand, right? I don't have a script in front of me what I'm going to talk about, you know. I don't have that. I mean, if I did, I would have had the entire list of names. So this is me remembering names while I'm doing it on the fly, right? Because I don't like scripts, right? Not that I can't read off one. You give me a script, I'll bloody do it like a Channel 4 News or whatever, right? One of those news anchors. I could read it out to you like a news anchor, right? Without an issue. But that's not my style. And I want to stay true to my style, right? I want to stay true to my style. But yeah, I mean, I'm as I said, I'm super excited, and I think these projects are going to kick off big time. But But as I said, there's a lot of things I'm factoring in. I don't want the token price to be too high. I don't want, what would you call this? Like the market capitalization or valuation to be too high. I've mentioned this on the other Discord servers. Sorry, I've got too many Discord servers, guys. And in fact, I'm going to have a third one coming very soon. For the meme coin, it's going to have its own Discord server. I don't want to mix the servers, guys. That's the worst thing anybody could do. And I do regret I did make a mistake in the beginning. So when I kind of first published about the new No Central coin, I did a mistake, right, where I went on Twitter and I posted the other server. I was like, whoa, and I made a complete mess up, right? So that's not going to happen anymore. Every product itself is going to be independent in its own way, and it's going to have its entire own community. Now, our other communities from other channels are welcome, and I urge you to come and join us, right? So it's not just about me welcoming you. Come and join us and be there as well, and let's grow this community and let's become a big massive thing. And it should be really, really interesting, because it's not just about me wanting something or me doing something. That's the easy part. Remember, I told you so many times, guys, making a cryptocurrency, launching a cryptocurrency, all right, hype coin, meme coin, whatever, those are all easy to do. Believe me or not, right? They are easy to do. It's easy because I don't have to show my face. You don't need to know who I am. I could be some random dude out there. And that's what's happening every single day. There are people out there copying names and this and that. Like, remember the Squid Games one, right? It was a massive show. So someone thought, okay, let's go and create a Squid Games one. People went in and people pumped it, right? And then they wiped out, they rug pulled, right? That's what happens when you have all of these kind of projects launching like this, right? I don't want any of that. I don't want the easy way. This is the hard way, right? So, if you are going to support me doing this on the hard way, and remember, I'm not even a coder, right? So I'm just a normal guy doing a normal thing, and I talk about crypto every now and then, and a few conspiracies here and there, and some people have called me nuts. I should be locked up. But you know what? Whatever the case is, right? I'm just being honest and I'm just being me. That's the most important thing that you should take from here. But other than that, guys, I'll see you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.